Welcome, everyone. My name is Shawn Jones, and I'm the CEO of the iNetrepreneur Network. And I am excited because I have a contributing author in our second legacy book series, The Art of Connection. This individual has had a dynamic and interesting career as a veteran to now he helps people with their fantasy dream travels. But I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag as to who this individual is. I want him to share more about himself. Paul Hardersen, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
So, Paul, as I mentioned, you have an outstanding background and a very diverse. You've served in the Navy, and then you have a degree in you were in the planetary science field. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, I have a pretty good, decent academic background, and I went to college right out of the Navy. I was in the Navy right out of high school and served for about 5 years. But I always wanted to go to college. That was kind of what I was striving for when I was in the Navy, is I wanted to go to college. And so I did that after the Navy and got a couple of degrees in geology and political science. And I really was not planning graduate school on it until about my last year when somebody suggested it to me. And this was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I should think about that. And then everything kind of went from there. I got my master. I went to New York to Rensselaer Polytechnic and got my master's and PhD in geology. And my specialization was in asteroid compositions, basically finding out what asteroids are made of by using ground-based telescopes. That's basically what my research was. And after that, I got a faculty job at the University of North Dakota, way up in Grand Forks, North Dakota, which is like being in space in the winter in a lot of ways. And I was there, and then things started to change once we got around to 2016, actually. That's how I got into travel. I can pinpoint the exact day when I decided to change what I was doing. And that's...
Wow. Going from, studying asteroids, learning all about them, and the telescopes. I'm sure you've had some pretty high-tech telescopes that you have used over the years, and you even have an asteroid that's named after you, correct?
Yeah, I do, and it's kind of nice because I did not expect this. This happened about around 2012, and I had a colleague who was part of the team that discovered a bunch of asteroids, and if you discover it, you get to name it. That's how it works, basically. And so I know him. I worked with him, and we're in the same field. And 1 year, me and a bunch of other people had asteroids named after us, and it was quite the honor because I did not expect that. And I actually took I did spectroscopy to find out what asteroids are made of, and I actually got some data on my asteroid, and so that was kind of cool.
That is, so you can truly say that you forevermore live among the stars than the universe. So that is a huge honor in itself.
Yeah.
And now you are the founder and CEO of Sea Dog Travels. Tell us a little bit, where does the name Sea Dog originate?
Well, a sea dog is a sailor, and I was a sailor, and being that trying to find the name of your company, you want something that's original, you want something that speaks to what the company does, what its focus is. And so we bantered around some names, and that's the one that really stuck out, because if there's anything nautical, Sea Dog is nautical, and that's how we want people to know the company, because that's how we're trying to differentiate ourselves in travel, is to be thematic. We focus on nautical types of travel in a variety of ways. And so that just was really a perfect fit.
Yes, I can definitely see that. And being that you were the sailor, you've been able to pull years ago your career from then all the way to where you're at today. Now, you give people experiences on the water. And I know that Sea Dog Travels offers wedding packages and all kinds of travel. What are some travel experiences that you have given people?
Well, we are pretty much just out of the gate startup company, so we haven't done any yet. So we're pretty, we're out the gate. We've been around for about a year, but we started the company with the purpose, with the goal of being ready once COVID ended. And so anybody who's followed the travel biz knows that COVID pretty much decimated the industry. I mean, it's just $500 billion lost in business, preferentially really hitting travel because of travel restrictions. People could not go anywhere. And so I decided about the middle of the pandemic that I wanted to start this business, knowing that there isn't going to be much business right away. But the good thing about that is that it has given me time to develop the business, where we're going to focus, what we're going to do to be ready to about now when, fingers crossed, the pandemic is going to start winding down and people are going to start traveling again. So we have pretty much our initial set of travel experiences ready for people and are available for people starting this summer. And between tall ship sales, which is really going to be the near-term and long-term focus of the company, small group travel to preferentially to tropical island and coastal communities because of the nautical nature, as well as focusing on luxury cruises and nautical destination weddings. You mentioned the weddings, but it's not any destination wedding. It's going to be, it could be on a ship, it could be at a tropical island, but everything has this nautical theme to it that hopefully will set us apart from everybody else. Because in my search in the industry, I did not find a travel agency or company that really had a guiding theme to define what they are. And that's why I sort of took my interests, my background, and turned it into this.
When you talk about themes, you know, for me, I'm a mountain girl, so the water I'm a little not real familiar with, right? I like to look at it from afar.
Uh-huh.
When you talk about themed nautical experiences, what does that look like?
Well, our tall ship sailing experiences is going to be one. And the first experience that we have planned is actually pirate themed. And so there is an industry, it's not cruises. There are these windjammer companies that sail tall ships along the US coast, down in the Caribbean, that are basically island hopping leisure vacations. I've done that. That is actually what got me into this. I did this in 2016. I sailed from St. Martin to St. Lucia, and I fell in love with it. This is like, I could do this all year long. If it paid, I would do it.
Right.
And I loved it. And this is something I'm taking that, and this gets into our long-term goal, Sean, for the company, is do that eventually with our own ships, but have more interactive travel experiences. Instead of just a leisure vacation, there's a theme. So the first one is a real authentic pirate themed sail that we're going to do. And we have a PhD pirate historian who's going to be the host for that experience, because you have the Jack Sparrow, view of pirates, which is the romantic, not really real way. But then there's piracy the way it was, and it's really historically fascinating. And so the idea is to give people a glimpse of what it was really like to be a 17th century pirate. Now that's one theme in the tall ship part of it, but others is going to be more eco-focused, diving and snorkeling sails, for example. One big thing that I want to do long-term for the company is to integrate ocean science with travel, which nobody has done as far as I know. And once we have our own ships, which is long-term, mind you, is we want to integrate and work with the marine science field to do real, meaningful, impactful research as an integrated part into these sails, which, people don't have to do anything when they're on our sails. This will sort of be in the background, and it's a way to really do two things at once. It's a way to learn more about the oceans, to do real science, to do real research and contribute, and to help people experience not just traveling on the ocean, but learning a little bit about it. why it's important to maintain the health of the ocean. And I mentioned that the health of the ocean because I just did whale watching in Santa Monica last Friday. And it was fun. It was 3 hours, not much going on in the whale department, but there was ocean pollution floating around. There was plastic floating on the ocean as we were going by, and that just bothered me to no end. So I really want to combine these two ways to have an ocean conservation science part that's with the business. And so that's really the long-term goal that I have for this.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Now, going back to the pirate theme, do the guests of the ship get to also dress in proper attire so they get the full experience?
Oh, they can certainly do that. That's kind of a to be determined, but that's certainly possible. People can if they want to, but they are going to be a part of the crew. They're going to have an authentic role on the ship and learn what it's like. And our pirate historian is really going to guide them along and give them really an authentic experience, in this case, what it was like to be a pirate in the Bahamas, because that's where the first sail is going to be. And it's going to be fun like nothing else, because, just island hopping on a tall ship is fun by itself, but having that real pirate theme to it is going to be a lot of fun.
What you're offering is not just the experience of being on the open waters and, feeling every wave and seeing the nature at its best between what's flying around and stuff that comes up to the surface, but you're also offering an opportunity for real hands-on learning and education, from bringing a historian in to bringing in the marine sciences. Because the ocean, as vast as it is, there are so many wonders that lie below the surface. And our waters have changed with all the pollution. I too have been in Santa Monica and gone the whale watching, and it's an experience. So what Sea Dog Travels has created is unlike any other service out there. You've really mixed your passion with education, and you're offering such an experience for everyone. Now, your experiences, are they kids friendly? Are they more focused on adult experiences?
What we're doing is for the sales and for the small group travel, we have annual trips to certain destinations and annual sales, and they're going to occur every year. Those are more adult only. However, one thing that we're adding is to do custom designed trips for groups to the same destinations, and we can put those together in any way to suit the client's needs. So we can certainly make those kid friendly. That's the nice thing about doing something unique, is we can custom make an experience for a group if they have a particular desire. There's a high school group, if there's a middle school group or even younger kids, we can design something that can suit them and make it relevant to them and more applicable to kids. Sure.
That's incredible. Now, Sea Dog Travels, are you having these trips, these experiences in one location? Is it places all over the world? What does that look like if somebody wants to experience Sea Dog Travels?
Right. Right now, our initial set of travel experiences, we are planning the tall ship sail with the pirate theme is going to be in 2024. That's going to be in the Bahamas. Then it will go annually after that. There will be, that's that. For our small group travel, we have trips this year and beyond for Maine, the Florida Keys, Inagua, which is in the southern Bahamas, and St. Lucia, which is also in the Caribbean. That is our first set of travel experiences, but we're going to be adding on to that. This year, I'm going to be developing experiences to the U.S. Virgin Islands and to Puerto Rico, for example. So as time goes on, there will be more destinations that people can choose from.
That's wonderful. Now, is Sea Dog, if somebody would like to book a trip and experience with Sea Dog Travels, do they find you just through your website? Can they go to like Kayak or some of the like Priceline, some of those other search engines that can pull up Sea Dog Travels as those experiences?
Yeah, right now we are working with Fair Harbor, and so we're on their distribution network. We will be on Viator eventually. I'm thinking that will happen probably later this year, second half of this year. And getting on those types of distribution networks that you mentioned, that's important to, expand visibility. So that will happen gradually over time. But right now, we're starting out with Fair Harbor.
That's incredible. And Paul, if somebody would like to book an experience, whether it's some of the shorter travels or the big one coming up in 2024, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, everything can be booked on our website, seadogtravels.com. They can call us if they have specific questions at 1-800-983-3652, or they can contact us. We're all over social media, so you can easily find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, pretty much everything right now except TikTok. I'm pretty accessible, so if you send me a message, I will get back to you within 5 minutes unless I'm asleep. So I'm pretty responsive.
I love it. Well, Paul, I want to thank you so much for, taking this time for sharing more about Sea Dog Travels. What you have founded and created is really it's an experience like none other out there. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Sean. I appreciate being here.
For those of you that have just watched the interview of Paul Hardersen, he is a contributing author in the legacy book series, Art of Connection, the second one in the series. He is the owner, founder, CEO of Sea Dog Travels.